Good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, President of United in Peace, Inc. Let me start my show off like I normally do by saying to God be the glory for allowing the chairman of United in Peace, Inc., who happens to be the executive director of this show as well as the producer of this show, Miss Terry Marsh, and I give God the glory for allowing me to convince her to be my wife. Now that's done. Let me get into the meat of today's show. So much has happened. Bud Benson Day Parade will be tomorrow. We had a slating session to see who the Cook County Democratic Party was going to slate for governor. But as you know, all politics are local. So let me start with something that's everybody been talking about, the soda tax, and you even have one of the commissioners of Cook County Commissioner, Richard Boykin. He has intentions, or he really wants to run for Brett Winkle's spot. He really wants to be the president of the Cook County Board. He says that he's trying to seek a legal way to stop President Winkle from being able to sue anyone with the county tax dollars. My thing is, the brother got a right to run for whatever office he wants to run. He has a right to voice his opinion. But when it comes down to the taxes that is needed in order to pay for the services within Cook County, we have to find revenue. I hear people saying you can move money from one spot and money to another spot. Well, you still got to spend the money that you're moving. And if you're not bringing in any revenue, you're going to have a hole in your budget. Two of the individuals that's standing up with Boykin is Republicans, and one of them supports Ronner. The other one supported Trump. And a lot of people are wondering which side Brother Boykin is on, and I know he means well for the county of Cook. But now they say that it's a tax problem. If you get a SNAP card and you're trying to go into the different places to get the soda pop, you can't spend it. You can't spend anything. You can't get any money. Hey, Congress, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right.
Good.
All right.
I left my phone.
Okay. You can't spend. Well, it takes all of us, including the congressman. But one of the things that's key is that when you go into the store and you got food stamps, you can't get the tax benefit off of the stamp. Anyway, what I'm telling you is this here. If you really don't want to pay taxes, everybody need to tell the elected officials to vote to legalize marijuana and do like Colorado. The state don't have a budget problem. The city of Denver don't have a budget problem because the selling of marijuana by the state has taken care of everybody's budget problems. So they have no problems with revenue. Okay? So they have no problem with bringing the services. Okay? So another thing that's very important and key is the slating that's happening today in Cook County, where the Cook County Democratic Party made decisions to slate the next candidate to run for governor of the state of Illinois. there's 8, maybe 9 candidates that's running. Pritzker, Kennedy, T.O. Hardeman, Alderman Powell, I forget the rest of them. But the one thing that's important is that it's been brought to my attention that the individual who got slated by the Cook County Democratic Party was Pritzker. So he won overwhelmingly. So know this, Cook County Democratic Party slated Pritzker as their candidate for governor of the state of Illinois. And he's my candidate too. I support him. Also, during the slating, they slated Cook County Board President Tony Prattwinkle, Cook County Assessor Joseph Berrios, for the Cook County Clerk, they endorsed and they supporting Karen Yarborough, who used to be the recorder of deeds. And as you know, they're merging both of them offices together. The Cook County Clerk's office, which David Orr is the Cook County Clerk. He's retiring. So Karen Yarborough has been slated by the Cook County Democratic Party. She was the recorder of deeds, and they brought both of the offices together. So now she's running for the county clerk's office. They also slated for Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas, and for the Cook County Sheriff, they slated Tom Dart. For the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, for the 6-year term, they slated Deborah Shore, Kerry Steele, Martin Durkin, and for the 2-year term, Kim Du Buckley. So for all those that want to know who got slated and who we should vote for, you're going to see it. The game is on now. And one of the wonderful things that happened is that after T.O. Hardeman decided that he was going to go downstate to pick an African-American woman to be his running mate, J.B. Pritzker picked Julia Stratton to be his running mate. And everyone knows that Julia Stratton was the young lady who beat Ken Duncan, who Madigan didn't like, and who a lot of Democrats didn't like because they felt like he was voting with Ronner, and that might be one of the reasons that we're in the problems that we are in today, where there's 2 years there was no budget for the state of Illinois, and then now we have a budget, we got a problem with school funding. So Pritzker made the wise choice, in my opinion, by getting Julie Stratton to be his running mate. She would be the first, if he become governor, she would be the first African-American woman to be elected lieutenant governor. And if the young lady, if T.O. should become governor, the young lady that he picked will become the first African-American woman to become governor. And if T.O. win, he'd be the first African-American male. So one of the things that I find upsetting to me is that everybody speak about the children. We love the children, we care about the children, we want better education for the children, but for some reason they can't get together and come to an agreement to support SB 1, which is a Senate bill that was added onto the budget that was approved by the state Senate and the state House, okay? And when Ronner vetoed that budget, the state House and the state Senate overrode his veto, and it became law. But the funding of the school was separate from that bill. So that's what they're arguing over now down in Springfield. So hopefully they'll have the votes to override the a mandatory veto that Ronna put on the school budget. The school funding bill to hold up the SB 1, or they may come together and come up with another bill to vote for where the governor can sign on to it. Whatever happens, they need to get the money together for those schools. So I'm happy because of the Buffalo Day Parade. I'm really elated because I see Chance is going to be the Grand Marshal. And that's a wonderful thing because that's a young brother that took it to another level. Chance will spring a big surprise at the Buffalo Day Parade. That's wonderful. He's one brother that didn't talk about what should be done. He put things into action. By him donating $1 million to the Chicago School Fund, he brought the attention to the fact that we as a people, and that it takes all of us to do what we can to put all the attention on the importance of a good education. So I salute you, Chance. I know your mother and father, and I salute them for being the greatest parents in the world, outside of me and my wife. But that's another story. There's so much that's happening within the city of Chicago. We see where the ABC anchor Hosea Sanders, he's returning to the airwaves. He was a little bit under the weather, and a lot of us didn't think the brother may come back to be on ABC News. I'm glad that he's back. One of the things that's happening in the city of Chicago that a lot of people is wondering about, and that is what's happening with Mark Maxson, the young brother that was tortured by Chicago police officers to the point they said that he had confessed to murdering a 6-year-old child. And they come to find out after DNA testing, and after he'd done 24 years in the penitentiary, they found out somebody else had did it, because after they did the DNA testing, they found out the individual who allegedly committed the murder, because his DNA was on the clothes and I believe the body of the victim. They had to let him go. The funny thing about it, well, it's not funny, the scary thing about it is that this individual who had killed that little baby ended up killing his own relative 2 years later by stabbing him, same way like he stabbed that baby. When he got arrested, he confessed to the FBI, the state's attorney. He even wrote letters of apology to Mark Maxson, saying he was sorry. He wrote a letter of apology to the family of the young baby that he had killed, saying that he was sorry. I see I got a caller on the line. Caller, could you please state your name? Because your opinion is expected and respected on this show. Caller?
Right. Yeah, this is Ray. First of all, I want to apologize for me being rude last week. That's the first thing I want to do, because I got a little testy there, and I usually don't do that. So let me apologize to you for that.
Thank you, sir.
Now this guy here, 24 years in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
What do you think he should get? I think he should get $500,000 a year. That would make it $12 million, and the city or the state pay the income tax. he should get the whole $12 million. He did the whole time. He should get the whole money.
My man.
Now I want to say this about Kaepernick. It looks like he's going to get a job, which is great. Last week I got a little off the team, but anyway, I'm glad for him. I'm glad for this show because at least I could speak my mind, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Hey, and you know, Ray, I appreciate your apology. And the wonderful thing about this show, that's why I say your opinion is expected and protected and respected. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, this is our forum for us to get it off our chest what we want to say because you can rest assured people are monitoring and watching this show. I appreciate your apology and I appreciate you calling. Thank you, sir. Caller,
All
could
right.
you please state your name and your opinion,
Hey,
please?
Gator, this is Steve. Now, you know what? People truly don't understand. I mean, go back into the 60s, the late 50s. If you go in jail or you go into prison and you hear everybody saying what they did, but you hear a lot of people saying, I did not do it. Best thing ever came in is DNA.
Sure is.
There are many people sitting up in that prison doing some years. I mean, they counting calendars down, and they didn't do the crime. So, again, it goes back to Ronner, all of those people. See, they make money in the prison system. If you don't have no bodies in there, they ain't going to make any money. So it's just going to show you there is something wrong with the judicial system. There's something wrong with the penal system. We need to just correct things. Let's tear it down and start all over. It might get a little bit better. That was my comment, man.
Thank
But
you.
again,
Thank you, Steve.
it's just my opinion. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it's my thought and it's my belief. That's what it is. Hey, thanks for taking the call. Let me get out
Hey,
there. So I
thank
can
you,
give
thank
a
you,
response.
Steve. Thank you,
All right.
Steve. Well, you know, your opinion is expected and respected. And got another caller. Caller, could you state your name? Could you please share your opinion?
Sure. My name is Tony, and I'm unbelievably confused because I heard you read the Democratic slate of the people running in the next election, and maybe you can help me out, Mr. Bradley. For the last at least 60 years, if not more, Democratic leadership have ran the city of Chicago. They've been in charge. Now, on the west side and the south side, two geographic locations, we have had murder, violence, and lawlessness for the last 60 years in primarily those two areas. And Einstein said, if you keep doing something, the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result, you're insane. So my question and my thought is, my confusion is, why on earth would we continue to vote for people that really don't care about black and brown people? Because no one can make me believe that in 60 years, the government, which includes the city of Chicago, cannot get control of two areas, two geographic locations. They did it for the G8. They do it when they hold those staging runs every 3 months or so. So why on earth would we be expected to keep supporting
Okay.
these people?
Well, you know, let me help you, man.
All right.
It's called we all have a right to vote. And the reason that the Democrats are in, because Democrats vote. The reason Ronald was able to get in, and we end up with 2 years without a budget, and we end up in the crisis where services or vendors, excuse me, vendors can't get paid for the services because they couldn't get the revenue. Okay? And one of the things is this: we as registered voters matter. Those who don't vote don't matter. You follow what I'm saying? And they leave it where we end up with bad leadership because we don't elect better leadership. So this time, get out and vote, make a difference, show them that we the people deserve better government, and we will get better government. You know, we can't in the 60s, as you was talking about, we as a people made demands, and we got better situations because we demanded better situations. Today, we have our hand out. We're not even begging. We just got our hands out and expect someone to give us better services, more jobs, fair contracts, good education. We're not demanding it. We're not even begging for it. You follow what I'm saying? So we got to vote and demand that those that's running for governor put it on the line or sign a contract to the people that these are the things that they're going to do to help make the state better for all of us. Okay? And back to the guy, Mark Maxon, when I see the city preparing to, they may feel like they want to go to trial, he ain't got a problem with, he sued the city for $54 million. Okay? And he don't have a problem with going to trial to prove the wrong that they did because it's self-evident. He would still be in the joint if he did it. If it wasn't for the DNA coming out that someone else had did it, he would still be there. He got out. The state's attorney even agreed that he should be free. Okay? He got a certificate of innocence by the grace of God. And I think the city shouldn't waste taxpayers' dollars hiring private law firms to say that they're going to fight a case that they know that they cannot win. So that's where we at. That's what I feel is a waste of taxpayers' dollars. Caller, you got to come on. My time is about to get short. Your opinion.
I'll make my comment real brief.
What's your name first?
Black folks, we should quit saying that we are Democrat or Republican. We should vote according to our interests. Now, if someone going to help you or assist you or something like that, that's where your vote should go.
I agree with you.
The Democratic Party had taken advantage of
Hey,
it.
hey, my brother, because the time is short, I want to comment to you. I agree with you 100%. That's why a lot of people, some reverends, some black leaders, they felt that voting for Ronna was going to make a difference. And he showed where it did make a difference. It got worse. You follow what I'm saying? It got worse. So the whole thing is, like I was telling the other caller, we got to get in there and vote. Don't choke. Tell them candidates what you expect of them. Fair jobs for African Americans, more contracts, and department heads have something to say with who's getting appointed to the various departments within state government, county government, city government. Okay? And with that, I want to say this. We have a responsibility to make sure that the elected officials down in Springfield, starting next week, have the power to override the governor's veto, mandatory veto of Senate Bill number 1. We have the power to demand that he sign the House Bill 40, I believe it is, making sure that women have a right and say so over their body. With that, I want to say, to God be the glory. That's my opinion. Yours expected and protected and respected on this show. Thank you. I'm Gator. I'll see you next week. No, I'll see you at the Buck Benton Parade tomorrow.